Okay, so my intent here is to show you how I raised quail this summer for under $100, all the way from incubation to building their habitat. So, and it's still somewhat of a work in progress. So, first of all, the eggs were given to me free as a birthday present, 30 eggs. I borrowed an incubator from our local 4-H group. The guy I bought the eggs from told me, hey, you got to have a fan in it. So I didn't have a fan, so I made a fan. All of this basically comes off the internet, YouTubing. It's just a 12-volt fan, power supply, and my first purchase. Humidity, temperature sensor, Ace Hardware, $15. Okay, so from there, they 2 days before they hatched, remove the fan, or else the little guys will unfortunately get sucked right into the fan blades. So from there, they moved. Once they hatched that day or the next day, they moved into an aquarium I had laying around. Basically, paper towel down on the bottom, rocks and stuff in the water container. Had a little mason jar top for their feeder over there. I could probably put somewhere around 20-25 quail in here as they're growing up. You just get a little small. Probably after 2 weeks, they were in here. So something bigger might be needed. Light on top is the heat source, and dish towels were necessary to keep the heat to maintain the correct temperature. After 2 weeks, they moved into an old mixing container I had. Got that from Home Depot as well. Cost $15. You'll find that in the cement department. Had shredded paper down the bottom. They stepped up in their feeder here. Water container moved over into here. This was a bottom board to a rabbit hutch over here. Just took the bottom out of it. Had a spare one laying around. Lo and behold, fit perfectly. Light went on top. There's a heat source. Bath towels on top to try to trap in the heat. Worked perfectly to maintain the temperature, required temperature, which starts off at about 97 and keeps going down a degree or two. For 2 weeks, they stayed in there.
2 minutes.
Okay, so we move on. So from there, then they moved into their converted bunny hutch. This is my rabbitry that I built. 5 cages down this side, 5 cages down this side, attached to the house. Just a fan comes down, can easily be removed if necessary. When it starts to get cooler outside, wire comes in from the house, light. 10 cages down. We come to the rabbit hutches that have now been converted into quail hutches. How did I do it? Let's start with the water source. Water comes in from my outdoor spigot, converter from garden hose to 1/2-inch MPT, I believe it is. There's an adapter sitting right in here to get from here into the line for the toilet blow plunger that's sitting right inside of here. I have about a gallon and a half of water sits in here all the time. Fills up when necessary. This is the adapter that comes in here, which is this little gizmo right here. It's a 1/4-inch by 1/2-inch MIP. Goes through here. I went to the electrical department of Home Depot, got this coupler, threw this away, took the nuts off of it. Nut on the inside, nut on the outside, a little bit of silicone, done. Took me about 15 minutes to build this. 1/4-inch low pressure water line coming out, coming down to a T for each one. Basically, the water line then goes into that same adapter, which is fit with a 1/2-inch MPT fitting, which goes onto my 1-inch tubing. I had some 3/4-inch tubing that I notched out here. I squared off the end so it goes through this 1-inch wire fabric cage. Put a nail right here on the outside to hold it in place. 3 nipples that supply the water to the birds. And I capped it off on the end. The feeder. The feeder This is a 2-inch PVC. Nothing is glued here. It comes around to U-shape. Here is the place where they basically put their little beak in here, kick it off, and they spread it along here. They even get to stick their head right through here. This is the old hole for the rabbit feeder. Feed comes down, works perfectly. Now when you open it up, wife insisted that I have some sort of netting in case they fly up, which they have been known to do. If they fly up, hit that net, no problem. But when I want to, I can then basically come in from the top or get in through here to get the eggs. Eggs production should start in about 2 weeks. This isn't enough room, I think, for my 6 quail that I have. So essentially over here on the left-hand side, I put in these little removable electrical conduit pipes, and there's a board that sits on there, and that housing, that dish pan housing that I've notched out for them to go into, comes up there, and hopefully that's where they're going to lay their eggs. If you back away a little bit, my final desire is to convert underneath the rabbit tree, if the rabbits aren't in, is to make these quail runs. So I have some some plastic netting right here. This is future plans. And essentially will go on here like so, with little connectors here, which basically pull off, and I grab my eggs. Should work in design, in theory. So that is my quail hutch conversion from a rabbit hutch that I pulled off. The whole thing I currently have around $80 invested. I stayed under my $100 goal.